and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn daily energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. All right, so we had the King of Swords pop out right away. So what you may be dealing with is a King of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. I kind of feel like I did another reading yesterday for Capricorn, and it also said that, like, I feel like you're two in your head, like you keep going round and round about something. I feel like you keep kind of stabbing yourself with this Ten of Pentacles. This Ten of Swords, and I feel like you keep reminding yourself, and like you keep hurting yourself, and you keep stabbing yourself, and you keep thinking about something that is negative towards you. And I feel that you're angry about something with the King of Swords. I always feel like, for some reason, I feel like the King of Swords is angry. It's just kind of a feeling that I get. Not all the time, but I just feel like the look on his face is so serious, and I feel like it's just like you feel angry, and like it's almost like you're punishing yourself, and it's like it's almost like you keep reminding yourself of something. I feel like with this Ace of Pentacles that there may have been an opportunity that you missed out on, and that maybe you're upset about that. It could have to do something with work or having to do with money, that maybe it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to, and so you're really angry about that. And yeah, that's upsetting when we make mistakes, or we don't make the right choices for ourselves, or we missed out on an opportunity, or we're like, oh, I should have tried harder. Definitely, just even me with my YouTube channel, I really wish that I wish that when I started this back in 2016, that I was in the frame of mind that I am now in 2024. Because it would have been so much different. And it's taken me all this time just to try and figure everything out and to be dedicated. And yeah, I probably missed out on having that financial security that I want right now because I couldn't stick with it. And yeah, it's frustrating. And yeah, we all make those choices and decisions, and we miss out on things, and then it's like, beating yourself up about it is not going to help the situation, right? Beating yourself up about it and being angry with yourself and being frustrated is not going to help the situation. It's just going to take you longer to get past the situation and move on from the situation and to put it behind you. And sometimes, like, I did the same thing. I'm a Capricorn sun and a Capricorn rising, is that I would keep reminding myself because I felt like I needed to punish myself, because it's like, okay, you better make sure you learn next time that you don't make this mistake again, or that you try harder, or you put more work into it. Just like today, I was really tired because I worked as a cashier the last 2 days, and then I closed last night. So by the time I went to sleep, it was like 1 o'clock. And I was tired, but I was like, I have to keep pushing forward. I have to keep going. So I just took some time to chill out for a little bit, and then I got myself together. And so then I'm like, okay, I feel much better now, so I'm ready to go. Sometimes it's like you really have to realize that you have to push yourself through something, that you have to, even though you're upset about something or you're disappointed about something, that's when you really show yourself how strong you are. We have the advice from the tarot, we have the judgment. It's about really showing yourself how strong you are, and that you're not going to go into the old habits of getting in your head and keep stabbing yourself with those swords and putting yourself down and feeling angry and feeling frustrated. And I feel like it's also having to do with your own stability and security within yourself, is that you're not feeling like you can trust yourself. But you have to give yourself some leeway and say, you know what? I made a choice or decision. It didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, so I need to just look forward and move forward instead of staying in the past. We have the Page of Pentacles for advice from the tarot, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like the message that is trying to come through for you is that there's new beginnings for you. changing your frame of mind, also sharing and releasing this frustration that you have with this Ten of Swords. I feel like the Judgment card and the Six of Pentacles is kind of the same, because it's like hearing the message, but also it's like taking in the positive and releasing the negative. And I feel like it's kind of starting, Pages is young, new energy. So like starting on that new track and getting things back together and pulling yourself together. We really can't rely on other people to do that for us. We really have to find that within ourselves. And I would say that's the biggest message that I have to say, is finding that inner strength within yourself. To not be distracted by other things or other people, or to feel like, well, if I just find that right person, or I just have this person, and so that person can help me have a better life, or have more money, or have a better job. Like, I just feel like it's finding it within yourself, and I feel like that's what the tarot is. It's trying to empower yourself, and it's finding all of those answers within yourself and being able to rely on yourself, and having that partner or those friends or those family members that are there to support you is just the icing on the cake, but it's not something that you have to put all your eggs into that person's basket, right? That you find that inner strength within yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, and it's not the easiest thing to try and figure out. But if you realize that that's what you have to do, then you realize that you have to keep pushing through, even when you feel tired or you feel frustrated. All right. What's coming in for you is the Tower. The future energy is the Tower. And like I've said many times before, I feel like the Tower is a good thing. It means that something is built on a false foundation and that change needs to happen. Things need to change. That it's time for you to rebuild, and that's what I'm saying, is like building within yourself. Because I kind of feel like you are a lot relying on someone else to kind of bring the answers in for you, and that's when you have to really see, okay, I have to do this for myself. I'm not saying that you need to be a hermit and that you shouldn't rely on other people, that you shouldn't have other people around you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying find that inner strength within yourself and that confidence within yourself, that you can make things happen within yourself, and that you're learning about things within yourself. And that it's almost like an excuse, saying, well, I'm waiting for this person to come into my life, or I'm waiting for this person to make a choice or a decision, right? It's like an excuse not to deal with things within yourself. And it's kind of realizing, you know what, I just have to go ahead and do it, and I can't sit around and wait for other people. We have the Ace of Cups. I love it. So this is the energy that's coming in for you. We have the Tower and we have the Ace of Cups. So it's like, with this destruction, we have new beginnings with this Ace of Cups. And I feel like it's a stronger sense of self within you. I also feel for some reason that there's a new relationship coming in. But you know why there's a new relationship coming in is because you're working on yourself, and you're taking that time to work on yourself, and then you're not feeling angry. A lot of times people will say that they've moved past situations, that they've moved on from situations, or that it's not really bothering them. But their words and their actions show that they're really still stuck in it, that they're really still holding on to it, right? With this Ten of Swords, that they haven't taken that time to themselves to work through that and to be able to let that go. And they keep reminding themselves of the situation that turned out in a negative way. And then we have Strength, and I love it. So we have the Infinity sign on top here. And that's what I was saying, is about finding that inner confidence within yourself and building that within yourself, and having that relationship with yourself where you're finding it within yourself, and feeling strong and confident that you can turn things around. And I know it's easier said than done, because I do the same thing. When I do things that I'm just like, why did I do that again? Why did I repeat that pattern again? Why did I put myself through that again? Why was I, doing that again? And then it's like, well, I guess I just have to keep doing it until I realize that I have to go a different route, and that I have to find the answers within myself, and that I need to focus on what's important to me. And it's just however many times that takes. overall energy is finally being able to let go of those 3 spilled cups that we have here and being able to focus on those 2 of cups that we have over here. And I feel like it's turning things around and kind of realizing what you're focusing on. It's like seeing that you're focusing on the 3 spilled cups, that you're focusing on this negativity, that you're focusing on the wrong thing, that you're putting a lot of energy into this 10 of Swords, and that you're putting a lot of work into that. And it's like, stop focusing on that. Like, break yourself free from that. And what are those tools that you have that can help you through those difficult times? What are those things that you have that you can do for yourself that can help you when you're struggling, or that you feel things are difficult, or that you feel that you're struggling? What are those things that you have? Sometimes it can be different things each time. You know, like for me, it's like going to the barn. But I haven't gone in a while since I had to sell my horse, and I've been busy with a lot of other things, but I kind of feel like I like dressing up now. Like, I like doing my hair, I like putting my makeup on, I like feeling good. That for me, it helps me a lot, that when I get dressed and when especially working from home and doing the tarot readings, it's like I feel like I'm going to a job more when I put my makeup on and when I get dressed and I do my hair and I wear a nice outfit. And I even stopped wearing the sweatpants. I actually put my dress pants on. So I feel more like it just feels better for me. And I may change in the future, but right now this is what I need for myself, is that I need to feel like it's put together, and that this is a job, and that this is my business, and that, you know, I feel more better about me, so then I feel like I can give better readings because I'm feeling better. That's one of the things that's helping me lately. So what are those things? Definitely, I feel like when I put myself together, I definitely feel better. Definitely when I'm struggling, that I will just feel lazy and not want to do anything, and I feel frumpy, and that does not help my mood. Just for me personally, I'm not saying you have to dress up, I'm not saying you have to do anything, but for me personally, that when I feel put together, that I definitely have a better attitude. And even you know, sometimes it's the littlest things, or the things that you do, you don't even realize how it changes your attitude, right? That it changes your outlook. Try different things, right? Try different things and see how you feel. Sometimes just buying a new shirt, like, that'll make you feel better, you know, that makes you feel good. Maybe it's looking through your closet and wearing clothes that you're like, oh, I'm only going to wear that when I go to a special place. Well, why keep it in your closet? Break it out now. Wear it now. Wear it today. Wear it to the grocery store, right? Why not? Who says that, you know, you have to look or be a certain way when you go to the grocery store, or that you have to save all of your nice clothes for when you go out? Why keep those in the closet? Because I did that so many times, and then it was like I would have these shoes that I would never wear because I'm like, oh, I'll only wear them when I had them for so long that when I actually wore them, they actually broke when I was out in public. It was very embarrassing. They all broke off it. So I'm like, you know what? And when I was a kid, I always saved a few things that I really liked, and I would never wear them. I used to have those satin jackets. It had red sleeves. It either had red sleeves and white here, or it was white. It was red here and it had white sleeves. I can't remember. I think it had the red sleeves, and it was one of those satin jackets. It was like one of those like bomber type jackets, and I always saved it, and I would never wear it. Well, come to find out, my sister told me as we got older that she would take it and she would wear it to school all the time. I didn't even know that she had taken it. So she was wearing all of the clothes that I was saving. She was wearing them to school all the time. So I was like, okay, you know, wear those nice clothes. If they make you feel good and you feel good about it, why not, right? What are those things that you can do that can help you get out of that mood and help you to feel better? Let's grab, all right, see the big picture. I love it, giraffe spirit. See the big picture. See the big picture, that it's about making yourself happy each day. It's about finding those things each day that make you happy. You don't have to have a reason. You don't have to have an excuse. It's to do those things that make you happy each day, right? As to the best of your ability. You know, sometimes we have to do things that we don't really want to do, or that we have to face things, or we have to have conversations, or, you know, whatever it is. Maybe you have a job that you're not that thrilled about, but make the best out of it, right? Do the best that you can. See the big picture. How can you help yourself, you know, feel better about, you know, dealing with a situation that you might not like when I have to be the cashier, it's not my favoriteest thing. So I do try and I put my makeup on, and I try and, you know, feel good about myself while I'm there. And it helps me to get through. Let's grab a card. We have the Self, gathering your power. And that's exactly what I was just talking about, is how can you gather your power? How can you gather your strength? See the big picture. What makes you feel stronger? What makes you feel motivated, right? What makes you feel better about yourself? What is it that you want to do that can help you to feel better and gather your power? What does that represent to you? Gather your power, I feel, goes back to the Strength card, and it goes back to that infinity sign, where it's about feeling strong and that confidence that you have within yourself. I feel like that kind of represents gathering your power. What are those things that you can do instead of putting yourself in situations where you feel it's draining you? What are those things that you can do where you feel more powerful? Growth, definitely. This all results in personal growth, right? You are learning to evolve and change and choose those things that are helping you with your personal growth, and bring in those changes that you need, and to bring yourself to a happier place in life. Realizing what's important to you, what you need to focus on, and what you need to let go of. And that beating yourself up or replaying a situation in your mind over and over and over again and punishing yourself is not how you're helping yourself. You're just hurting yourself, right? That you're making yourself feel worse. Let's grab a Lenormand here, and we have the Owls, which represents wisdom, right? Learning about yourself and learning, okay, every time that I'm in this Ten of Swords and I keep reminding myself about a situation that was negative, and every time I do that and I keep spinning out of control, how is that helping me? How am I feeling? Learning that, doing that, what does that get you? My guess is that it only makes you feel worse, makes you feel sad, makes you feel like you're tired and that you're working against yourself. And why do you want to do those things for yourself, right? We have the Self, gathering your power. Do those things that uplift yourself, that help you to move forward. Again, our overall energy was that Five of Cups, where it's realizing, I just feel like it's seeing that you're focusing on the three, looking at, I just feel like this is you looking at that card and saying, you know what? I do see that I'm looking at those 3 cups. When I've got these 2 cups behind me and I have these positive things, again, something that's very important is having that gratitude and being thankful for the things that you have, especially in the times when you feel like you don't have anything or things aren't going for you. No matter how big or small, being grateful for those things that you do have in your plus column. And I feel like this is just kind of you looking at that and saying, you know what, I do see that I am focusing on the negative. I am focusing on, you know, this Ten of Swords, and I do keep reminding myself of all of these negative things, and I need to change that. I need to turn that around. I need to get to work, especially with this chop wood. I feel like that represents getting to work, and I feel like it's, sometimes you just have to do the hard work. I know it's hard. Definitely, we'd all like to just sit back and say, oh, okay, well, I wish things would just change for me. And doing the work is hard, and it's tiring, and it's frustrating at times. But when you get to the other side, then it just becomes natural that you're always being grateful for things, that you're looking at the positive side, that when a challenge comes up, you're like, okay, I'm kind of like me yesterday. I had went to work, and I had worked till 8:30 the night before, and then I was back at 1:30 yesterday, and I was just kind of irritated. I was like, I really would rather be working on this And I was a little grumpy, and there was a person, another cashier, and she's like, "Are you okay today?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, you just," and I said, "What?" And she didn't really want to tell me, but then she told me, she's like, "You're not as happy as you usually are." And I knew that I wasn't. Like, I was aggravated for being there. And the people that were coming through my line, which I've said many times before, that you give off energy, right? You have to realize that you do give off energy. And I wasn't being rude to anyone. I was just crabby for being there. And people could pick that up for me. And the people that were coming through my line were kind of like standoffish, and they were kind of a little grumpy themselves. And so that was making me even more irritated. And so I thought about it, and so then I changed my attitude. And I was like, you know what? You have to put that behind you. You have to put that aside, that you are here at your job, and you need to have the best attitude that you can. You need to straighten up, and you need to turn your attitude around. And I did, and it changed. People started coming through my line, and they were happy, that they were positive. I started to feel better. I let go of that, and I recognized that. She did point that out to me. I did know that that was going on, but I was just like, okay. She picked up from me that I was feeling grumpy, that I was feeling irritated. She's like, "You're not your usual bubbly self." And I was like, "No, I'm not." And I straightened myself up, and I turned myself around, and I got rid of that negative attitude. Like I said before, people can pick up on your energy, even if you're not saying that you're focusing on these 3 spill cups, even if you're not saying that you keep beating yourself up with these 10 of swords, and you keep, reminding yourself of this negativity. People can pick up on that energy that's around you. And when you do that, that's what comes back at you, because that's what was coming back at me, is I was feeling grumpy for being there, and people were giving me that energy back. They didn't have to say anything. They weren't saying anything. They weren't being mean to me. They weren't being rude, but you could feel the energy that was in the air. They were kind of a little short, but I mean, it totally makes sense. And like I've said many times before, is that you give off energy, and you have to be aware of that energy that you're giving off. We have moving on. We have the six of swords. So it's time to move on. It's time to move on from this 10 of swords. Have that come to an end. It's time to move on from this 5 of cups and turn around and focus on those 2 cups. And it's time to move on and start working on yourself and gathering your power within yourself. Not relying on someone else. If people are there to support you, that's fine, but finding those answers within yourself. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that helped. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I wish you the best in your journey.